Chuck Grassley joins us right now on the phone. Senator, very strong words. Have you gotten any response from the White House?
We have not, as far as I know, but we did this because there's a humanitarian crisis playing out before our eyes. We have no time to waste. And it seems funny. The Biden administration was for sending these Polish MiGs to Ukraine before they said they were against it. I guess they listened to some lawyers in the Pentagon that said it might be a pretext for escalation. But he's already said that our sanctions and the arms that we're giving them now is kind of an act of war. At least that's what Putin is saying. So it seems that Putin's talking to a few of his yes men, and I don't think he's consulting with his lawyers, but our Pentagon's consulting with the lawyers. And maybe the worst thing here is that in news conferences and on television, we're always talking about what we're going to do to help. We're sending messages through our news media to Putin what we're going to do. When it comes to national security issues, we ought to keep our mouth shut.
Senator, as you know, the read from the Defense Department on this, particularly helping the Poles get those MiGs into Ukraine, is that essentially our fingerprints wouldn't be on it, shouldn't be on it. But they also said that such a move would all but trigger World War III. That's been the prevailing argument. Are you saying, let's go ahead and call Putin's bluff?
I think that we have to do everything we can, first of all, to let the Ukrainian people know that we put our actions where our words are. And I think we need to, we've already done things that are very similar to this with all the defensive equipment and offensive equipment we're getting to them. And when we say we're going to do something and we don't do it, we're sending mixed messages to Putin, and that shows a lack of resolve. And when you're up against what we're up against, you can't show any lack of resolve.
No, I understand that, Senator, but we did say in the past, and we're rather repetitive about it, that we would not be part of a no-fly zone. And I'm just wondering whether that has changed to the point now that, you know, if it does ratchet this up, America would be involved in this war, directly involved in it. That's what the Defense Department hears. Do you agree with that?
These are Polish planes, and it will be Ukrainians flying them. How does that get us involved in an act of war other than the instruments of war we've already given them?
So your view, Senator, and those of your Republican colleagues, is that the time for this has come. Do you think it should also come if Vladimir Putin uses chemical weapons? He says that's not happening, but it's been raised enough in the West. The fear is enough, and his history suggests he's done it enough that that could happen. How do you think we should respond to that?
Well, I'm not a very good one at speculating, and I don't think I should speculate. But when this guy is sick and he's got an egomaniac view that he has towards something creating the Roman or the Soviet Empire again, I think you can expect anything, and we ought to be acting like we could expect anything.
Senator, China has done little to help sort of take the heat out of this situation. It's apparently going to be a ready market for Russia's oil once all these other sanctions take place. If they go ahead and get oil that has been effectively sanctioned across the world to Russia, should we sanction the Chinese?
We have to do everything we can to discourage China from thinking that we are so weak that we're not going to help the Ukrainian people, that it would embolden President Xi to go to Taiwan. That's our biggest worry. Now, what you do in between then, like your question, I don't have a very good answer for at this point, but I know this, that we have stood by in the case of North Korea and put sanctions on North Korea. And it was supposed to be the Chinese helping us, and the Chinese did everything they could to help the North Koreans violate it, and they think they can get away with it again if you don't do something about it.
All right, we'll watch it closely. Senator Chuck Grassley, let us know if you hear from the president of the White House, you and Republican colleagues.